V's Walk Like You Talk TV. I'm your host V. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Please hit the notification bell so that anytime that I do drop new content, it'll be uploaded and come directly to you. So please like, share, and subscribe. If you do feel led to sow a seed, my Cash App is the $VCHH playlist. That's $VCHH playlist. My message today is going to be called He Could Be 4 Days Late and Still Be Right on Time. And most of you may know what that means, but I'm going to be coming to you from Scripture today. And then I'm going to talk a little bit after it and kind of tell you what it means for modern day life. Okay, so I'm coming from the book of John, chapter 11, and it's the raising of Lazarus. So it goes like this. I'm in the New Living Translation. A man named Lazarus was sick. He lived in Bethany with his sisters, Mary and Martha. This is the Mary who later poured the expensive perfume on Jesus, the Lord's feet, and wiped him with her hair. Her brother Lazarus was sick, so the two sisters sent a message to Jesus telling him, "Lord, your dear friend is very sick." But when Jesus heard about it, he said, "Lazarus' sickness will not end in death. No, it will. No, it happened for the glory of God, so that the Son of God will receive glory from this." Remember that. That's very important. So although Jesus loved Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, he stayed where he was for the next 2 days. Finally, he said to his disciples, "Let's go back to Judea." But the disciples objected. "Rabbi, they said only a few days ago in Judea were trying to stone you. Are you going there again?" And Jesus replied, "There are 12 hours of daylight every day. During the day, people can walk safely. They can see because they have the light of this world. But at night, there is danger of stumbling because they have no light." Then he said, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but now I will go and wake him up." So the disciples said, "Well, Lord, if he is sleeping, he will get soon better." They thought Jesus meant Lazarus was simply sleeping, but Jesus meant Lazarus had died. So then Jesus plainly told them, "Lazarus is dead, and for your sakes," another important part, "I'm glad I wasn't there, for now you will really believe. Come, let's go see him." Thomas, nicknamed the twin, said to the followed disciples, "Let's go too and die with Jesus." When Jesus arrived at Bethany, he was told that Lazarus had already been in his grave for 4 days. Bethany was only a few miles down the road from Jerusalem, and many of the people had come to console Martha and Mary in their loss. When Martha got word that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him, but Mary stayed in the house. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you only had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus had told her, "Your brother will rise again." Wow, another important part. "Yes," Martha said, "he will rise when everyone else rises at the last day." Jesus told her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live, even after dying. Whew. Everyone who lives in me and believes in me will never, ever die. Do you believe this, Martha?" Wow. "Yes, Lord," she told him. "I have always believed you are the Messiah, yes, the Son of God, the one who has come into the world from God." Then she returned to Mary. She called Mary aside from the mourners and told her, "The teacher is here and he wants to see you." So Mary immediately went to him. Keep in mind, she was upset. Remember, she stayed at the house. She stayed back at the house. She knew he was already there. Jesus had stayed outside the village at the place where Martha met him. When the people who were at the house consoling Mary saw her leave so hastily, they assumed she was going to Lazarus' grave to weep. So they followed her there. When Mary arrived and saw Jesus, she fell at his feet and said, "Lord, if you only had been here, my brother would have not died. Have died." When Jesus saw her weeping and he saw the other people wailing with her, a deep anger welled within him. and he was deeply troubled. Where have you put him? Jesus asked them. They told him, Lord, come and see. Then Jesus wept. The people who were standing nearby said, see how much he loved him? But some said, this man healed a blind man. Couldn't he have kept Lazarus from dying? Jesus was still angry as he arrived at the tomb, a cave with the stone rolled across its entrance. Roll the stone aside, Jesus told them. But Martha, the dead man's sister, protested, Lord, he has been dead for 4 days. The smell would be terrible. Jesus responded, didn't I tell you that you would see God's glory if you believe? Major point again. So they rolled the stone aside. Then Jesus looked up to the heaven and said, Father, thank you for hearing me. You always hear me. But I said it aloud for the sake of all these people standing here, so that they will believe you sent me. Then Jesus shouted, Lazarus, come out. And the dead man came out, his hands and feet bound in grave clothes, his face wrapped in a headcloth. Jesus told them, unwrap him and let him go. So what I want to say is that in your current condition in modern day life right now, this could refer to a relationship that looks dead or died. That child who is in trouble with the law, or that gang that you warned them to stay away from. It's a situation that looks dead. It could be attached to a physical sickness in your body or a loved one that looks dead. Or unforgiveness, bitterness, and anger for someone that they feel dead to you, or vice versa. The point here is that you can have situations in your life right now that look completely dead. But I want you to remember what Jesus said. You know, he said that Lazarus' sickness will not end in death. No, it happened for the glory of God, so that the Son of God will receive glory from this. So you could be going through something that can be very major to you, and it looks like it's something that can't be fixed, something that has a time stamp on it. And if it doesn't get fixed at that time, then like it's a wrap. It's not going to get done. But Jesus did this because he wanted everyone to see. He wanted everyone to know, like, I'm God. I could do anything. I'm not on this time stamp you try to put me on, or none of that. Like, I'm using you for this glory. Like, you're being used specifically for this glory. I'm going to restore what it seems like you lost. I'm going to restore that marriage. I'm going to restore your child back to you and bring him with me and for salvation, and he'll see the light. So as his friends and all the other people that was around, they're going to see the glory through this. I'm going to restore that sickness in you or that loved one that it looks bad right now. And it looks, and there you're getting all the bad notices about you got this much time to live and this and that, that unforgiveness you're holding against someone, the bitterness you're holding against someone, that anger that you're feeling, Lord, it's like, give it to me. I'll take care of it. That person has changed now. They are living for me. So he'll do things. He'll put you in situations that look dead, and he'll change the whole projection of what it was before for his glory. And as you see here, that's what he did. And he had to tell him again. He had to tell Martha, and then he had to tell Mary at the end, with Martha, he was like, I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone that believes in me will live, even after dying. Everyone who lives in me and believes in me will never, ever die. Do you believe this, Martha? He made it plain and clear, plain and clear. And then, even when, Martha came back again, even when it was time to roll the stone. When Jesus said, let's roll the stone back, you know, which kind of got me because he's did a lot of miracles up to that point, but like, it was kind of like, man, he's dead. Like, I mean, I know you done, made wine and, done healed people and this and that, but this man is actually dead and he's been here for 4 days, and the Lord was like, didn't I tell you that you would see God's glory if you believe? And then he prayed to the Father and it was done. So the point is just, no matter how dead a situation looks to you, no matter how empty you feel, no matter what's going on in that time, if it's 4 days, that means nothing to God. He's never late. He can do it whenever he wants, whenever he feels, and he will get the glory out of it. So I just want to say that to you so that you feel encouraged, that you feel really encouraged, and that you're not worried about anything. If God told you it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Don't be worried about the time. Believe it. All you got to do, and your one and only job is to believe. All right? So I love you guys. Have a blessed day. In Jesus' mighty name. Peace.